And going live. Oh shit! This shit just starts off. We just oh shit!
That's how it be.
This how it be. But we are back. Our favorite in the world is back. Lowe. She was on vacation being a superstar. Welcome back, Lowe. Welcome back, Lowe.
I appreciate that. It's good to be missed. It's good to be missed.
You were missed. I mean, hey, how drunk did you get? I'm just gonna ask you off jump.
You know what? Shockingly enough, I didn't get super drunk, but I was drinking. So I think maybe because it was so spaced out, like we were drinking all day.
Yeah.
I wasn't too drunk, but yeah, I'll leave it at that.
You drank. I'm not gonna ask all the questions. But did you drink? What did you drink all the time? Did you drink whiskey, tequila, or did you just say whatever?
I was honestly drinking whatever, but they had this drink called a painkiller, and it was like rum in it. So I was really on that most of the time. Yeah.
Dog.
Feel the pain for sure.
Let me tell you, I drink everything straight because if I started doing like that mix shit like painkiller, well, fuck my stomach. I'll be done for the rest of the night. I can't do that. No,
you drink straight.
Straight everything.
Crazy, man.
Everything.
I usually drink straight
man,
too, but mainly so I don't add the extra calories for no reason.
And that give you, when you start mixing, that give you the hangovers, man.
That's sugar. Yep.
Yes.
Certainly.
I haven't had a hangover, man, bro. I haven't had a hangover in my 30s at all.
Can't say the same.
I don't mix nothing. Like if I do, like if I'm drinking tequila, I might squirt some lime in there to start, or might pour a little lime juice to start. But after that, it's straight clear with ice.
Yeah, I mean, I was drinking like I was just adding, So I was taking shot. I wasn't taking shots, but they would just pour. What was I drinking on there? What was my cousin getting? Like Crown Royal. I'm like, oh god.
Oh yeah.
But listen.
Hot as hell.
It was free.
Yeah,
it was free.
Hey. Yes, it gotta be something. It gotta be some old watered down alcohol for me not to drink it if it's free. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be something like if it's a plastic bottle, I'm not drinking it. I don't care if it is free.
Facts.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Nick, I don't think I've ever seen a plastic bottle. I don't think I've ever seen one. Yeah,
that's a good old college.
You ain't never saw one in college? Yeah.
Not like I'm talking about like straight from the store, like plastic bottle.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen it. No, I've always seen glass. That's crazy.
Look. Wealth. AJ.
Man, bro, it's like $5, $6. No, in these towns it might be $8 in these towns, but $8 for a fifth.
Back in the day, $6. Yep. Man, we was on that crazy in college.
Yes, you be destroyed.
That's why I don't drink tequila now.
I can't do that shit, bro. I cannot.
I can never do clears again. Clears are just they're not my friend. At least when I did drink, I don't drink no more. But when I did, clears were not my friend.
Oh, you said clear? You can't. Yeah, clear. I don't like vodka. I'm not a big vodka fan, nothing like that. So, I drink everything else. But I mean, I like clear, not too much dark and shit like that, But I will from time to time. If it's a special occasion, like my birthday weekend, I will drink some dark.
Yeah, you got to.
Yes, I will. And Nick, you will too. Cat out the bag now. Nick and Lowe coming here next month.
Okay.
I
didn't want to announce it. I thought we were gonna keep it a secret, but
we kind of like talking around it now. So yes, they will be here next month, the end of September. So we will be.
We are doing a live show next month in Chi-Town. Myself,
yes,
Lowe,
we are. Yes, we are. Yes, it's gonna be fun. I cannot wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's like a work pleasure trip.
Yes, certainly. More pleasure than work.
Yeah, more pleasure than work. We just figured out to work out some work in there, but it's gonna be more pleasure than anything. But man, we back. This episode for the Best Damn W show. For everyone who's new, that's Lowe, that's Nick Andre, I'm Jay. Welcome again. We got a lot of stuff to go over. We had some stuff we talked about last week when Lowe wasn't here. Lowe gonna give her 2 cents on it, on those topics. Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump right into it real quick before we get it out the way, because even it was some more information that came out. I want to say Monday. Was that yesterday? When they play Sunday night?
Yeah, Sunday. Becky had gotten asked a question about it, and then she gave her 2 cents about the whole situation.
Yeah. So if who's don't know, we're talking about D'Erica Hamby situation versus the Las Vegas Aces. Lowe wasn't here last week, and we were just being responsible with it. Like she's a woman. She's been pregnant. You know, she works. She's been an athlete, and she only can really explain where D'Erica's coming from, and maybe where the company's coming from. So the floor is yours, Lowe.
Yes, and I've talked about it on my other podcasts and on Spaces too, and I think that it's an important conversation to be had. I'll start with Becky. I didn't even know we were going to talk about this, but I'll start with Becky's comments first. I think that it just wasn't a smart move. Like when you have an actual legal investigation and court case going on, like you typically don't speak out without your counsel or representation. So I think she was so eager to kind of like prove her innocence that it didn't come off that way. It didn't look good. It wasn't a good look at all. And she was like, the girl was asking the question, or the reporter was asking the question. And I don't know if anyone saw that length, but Becky was literally interrupting her. Like, do you want to hear the facts? Do you want to hear the facts? Like almost like a little kid that's raising their hand and no one's calling on them. Like she was just continually interrupting her. So she clearly had stuff to get off her chest. I didn't like the comment about I've been in the NBA and the WNBA for 25 years and I had no HR complaints, because just because people aren't complaining doesn't mean that you're not compliant, or it doesn't mean that you're doing illegal things. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I said it before, when you look at Diddy, how long did it take him to get caught up, right?
My God, yes, that's a crazy example, but for real.
I mean, yeah. I'm not saying it's the same level, but look how many years. Look at R. Kelly. How many years did it take for him to go to prison? So just because you don't get caught doesn't mean it didn't happen, is my point. So that's my thing. That's my thing on Becky. In regards to D'Erica, I stand with D'Erica. I'm always going to stand with mothers, because like Jay said, I have a 2.5-year-old. I know how difficult it is to grow a human being inside of your body. That's number one. So number one is that. Number two, D'Erica is a Black woman like myself. We are at a 3-time higher rate to die from childbirth when compared to any other race. So not only does she have to have the fear, hey, I might not even survive after having this kid, but now I have to deal with my employer not being fair. And I get it, right? The WNBA is a business. It's a corporation. It's an entity that stands on its own, and they have to make money. They have to get revenue. So from their standpoint, I understand if the player can't play because they're pregnant, that's a loss for that team. So I think it's a foundational issue. It's not an Aces problem or Phoenix problem, because Phoenix did the same shit to Skylar Diggins. It's a foundational problem rooted with the WNBA that needs to be fixed. These women are at childbearing years. I mean, they're playing during their childbearing years. So number one, it's unfair to ask them to wait until their career is done to have children. That's number one. But number two is it's going to happen. It hasn't happened as much as you would think it would. But it's going to continually happen with women having children. So the WNBA needs to fix this. Like in the next CBA, they have to extend the roster so that if someone is pregnant, it won't affect the roster that much. They have to figure something out. I don't know. They don't pay me money to figure it out, but the people that they pay brainstorm, figure it out. But this what they have now is not going to work. And I believe her. I think that women get discriminated against all the time. That's number one. No, but then also, right, off rip, without even being pregnant, women get discriminated against, right? Yes. Then you add, if you're a Black woman, that's another. That's even worse. Yes. Right. You're even more discriminated against, right? And then you're adding motherhood into it. And so the part that is irritating to me is that they act like women can still not compete after they have children. Hell, look at Serena Williams. She was 8 weeks pregnant with her daughter and won one of the major like tennis awards. And what's the girl's name? Carrie Wells. She was 5 weeks pregnant with her daughter and won a gold medal for volleyball, Olympic volleyball. So women can compete, whether while they're pregnant or after they're pregnant. Skylar Diggins led the WNBA in most minutes per game, and she was pregnant. Like no one knew. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's just
nobody knew.
Right. I think it's well, of course, her and her family.
But
like, she was playing heavy minutes and nobody really knew. So I think it's unfair to put women in these boxes. And the thing that I don't like is that because people don't like D'Erica Hamby as a person, they are just like belittling her experience. You know what I'm saying? Like D'Erica makes $117,000 a year. She has 2 kids. That's not a lot. Jay can attest for that. Like when you have, and that's no disrespect, but it's the reality of the world, right?
Facts.
You make $117,000 in a year, and you live in LA. They are taxing her. Half of that is gone. A third of that is gone. It's out of there, right? So you mean to tell me y'all think this lady did not get discriminated against? It's just retaliation when she has to. She's going up against a huge entity like the WNBA. Her money ain't the same as the WNBA's money. When you go to court, it's not free. You got to pay. Like, so for me, something illegal happened. I believe her. I don't know what it was. None of us do because we weren't there, but something definitely illegal happened because she's not going to take the time, the energy, the money, the backlash, all of these things if something didn't happen, if she didn't have a leg to stand on. And any good lawyer is also going to tell you if they know that you're not going to have a chance to settle or if they don't think that you're going to win, they're probably not going to take you on. You know what I'm saying? So I believe her. I don't stand for any form of discrimination, whether it's race, gender, ageism, whatever the case may be. I don't stand for any of that. So I stand with D'Erica, and I hope that people truly. I'm proud of her for taking this stance and standing up against the WNBA because it's not right, and a lot of people don't have the guts to do that. And so instead of people putting her down, we should actually commend her for standing up for future women that'll be pregnant and that don't have to deal with the bullshit that she's dealing with. Last thing I'll say about that before we move on, Devereaux Peters, who played for Notre Dame, WNBA champion with the Minnesota Lynx, she had a nice thread. And it was basically just saying that when it wasn't about pregnancy, but when she was in the WNBA, she had a lot of, illegal things happen to her as well. And because her dad is an attorney, she found out that these things were illegal. And so she went to the union and told them like, hey, I want to, go forth with actions against them. But what I didn't know is that the union, like the lawyer that she would have is appointed by the WNBA. So it's pretty much WNBA versus WNBA. And that's not right. They have to change that. Like, you can't appoint a lawyer or representative.
That's insane.
It is.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's extremely insane. So it's crazy. Like a lose-lose battle. So she was saying that basically a lot of illegal stuff goes on. People just don't report it because they don't know. First of all, they don't want to go through all the hoops to make it happen, to see it all the way through. But more importantly, like they know nothing's going to happen from it, like because the WNBA is literally going to be representing them and they're going to look out for their home. Like that's how it is. So I stand with D'Erica. I'm always going to stand with Black women, period. I mean, that's just what it is.
Let me ask you this real quick, Lowe. So let me ask you this. So as a woman, do you think that the league has something like some type of discrimination against like heterosexual women in general? Because I don't know, like this just randomly came to mind, but I remember for people who don't know, Candace Wiggins, she used to play in the league, played for Stanford as well. She even talked about how she was pretty much forced out of the league back in like 2015, 2016 because she was straight. So do you feel like they have something against heterosexual women?
It's interesting. Yes and no. I think it depends on what angle you're coming from. So when they promote the WNBA, they want it to be a heterosexual woman. They don't want lesbian or gay women to promote the league. Like, look at the people that they typically have promoting the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, so from that standpoint, that's why they push like Sabrina, Caitlyn, other than the fact that they're also white, but they're straight, women, right? So they push these people to the forefront to kind of represent the league, which is crazy because from my knowledge and from just talking to insiders about the WNBA, majority of the league is gay. So it's weird that you're pushing straight women when majority of the league is gay. But then on the flip side, typically, I want to say this correctly, typically it's more beneficial for the WNBA to have majority gay women and lesbian women that make up the league because you don't have to deal with as many like pregnancy things, right? Of course you can do IVF and all that other stuff that people are able to do now because of technology and science and all of that. But reality of it is most of the time it's their wives that are carrying the children, right? So like even Chelsea Gray just had a baby, but her wife carried the baby. So that doesn't affect her. So it's like they kind of pick, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of pick and choose. So it's discrimination on both parts. You know what I'm saying? in my opinion.
Nasty.
Very.
No, that is like all the information. I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad you said everything you said was perfect. It was well said. Like a lot of people don't know all this. So like, I didn't even know people didn't like D'Erica like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's what I was gonna ask too. I mean, like, what did people have against her? Because I don't really
I have no idea.
Well, people, I mean, from what I've heard, people didn't like when she initially filed the lawsuit. Like they thought she was doing it just simply because of retaliation. And it's like, she's not going to go through all this for a period. Like, it's federal now. It's a federal case now. You're not going to go through all this just for retaliation. So people, when I say people, mainly Aces fans are the ones that don't like her because they feel like she's doing too much. They feel like she is being a sore loser. They're like, if we had a chance to get Candace Parker and Alicia Clark, and you know, and you were kind of collateral damage in regards to being traded, we're going to do that every time. You know, we're going to do that 9 out of 10 days, you know, 10 out of 10 days, actually. So people don't like her for that. You should see how many people get mad when I say I think that she's the most improved player. Like, people really don't like her. And it's just my
Now, I've seen that. I've seen people be in your comments talking like, how is she this and that and that, and going off the what year
because, like,
she
people aren't even looking at stats or facts. They just literally don't like her, which is also very weird because you don't know her. Like,
no, for real. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't ever hear nothing negative about D'Erica Hamby, even like outside of this whole case. I don't ever hear nothing negative.
Yeah, I mean, people really don't like her. I mean, you see the nicknames they call her. I'm not going to repeat it, but I'll tell you. Huh? Oh,
I was saying Jay's on mute.
I have no idea like about these nicknames. Like, this is all new to me. Yeah, this all new. Like,
I need to see it too. I don't see it either.
This is crazy. Another thing about this whole situation is that everybody is like wanting the players to say shit to people or talk crazy about Becky. That, like, all that's crazy. Like, coming at Asia and this me being like me coming, like, of course I've always been a women hoops fan, but just really coming into the W media space, I'm learning so much shit that I had no idea what's even going on.
Welcome to the club, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's just wow. I'm learning so much from y'all. I'm just seeing shit like people are following me because I'm connected to y'all and just seeing different shit. I'm like,
it's dangerous out here, man. Only the strong survive out here, man.
Yo,
only the strong survive.
This shit is crazy. You got players responding to people all the time. Not just one. It's like it's always shit. So it's just certain things I see in this situation with D'Erica and the Aces has shown me so much that is going on. Like the hatred and the division between, even though it's just all women, but if it's being, you know, heterosexual and lesbian and all that stuff, is like, listen, man, at the end of the day, she's still a woman. Like you said, 117,000 don't go a long way, especially when you live in LA. And you're not gonna be wasting with 2 kids, you're not gonna be wasting your time spending money on lawyers and going to federal court. Something ain't right. And then I also say this a lot, and I tweeted this, but it was and I like Becky Hammon, but what she said it on the press conference was real white woman of her to do. To say, I'm just gonna say it. To say,
you want to know the facts?
These are the facts. You just think you are untouchable because you
lady
are a white woman.
The lady didn't even finish the question. Like,
right?
Yeah, like that was real. Like, come on, man. Like, you're not beating the allegations. Like, you're only doing that shit because you're a white woman. That's it. I'm sorry. It just like, how you gonna say these are the facts in a case that's still open? Ain't nobody won or lost.
Right.
Like, you said it wasn't no hot mic. You wasn't in the back of your office. You said this in front of everybody to see. So
I mean, did y'all really dive into the documents? Like, it was allegedly said that Becky was asking her, like, what kind of birth control are you on? It was allegedly said that, you know, they were looking at her medical records. Like, that is illegal. That is HIPAA. Look it up. Like, that is illegal as hell. So again, we don't know exactly what happened, but something clearly happened. You know what I'm saying? And somebody brought up a good point. I don't know if it was, Jada or maybe Tom in the group chat, but they brought up a good point where Becky has like this friendship kind of relationship with her players. And it's certain stuff that you can say, and we all had coaches that you're close with, right? More than just like a sport type of coach, like that is kind of like your mentor, whatever the case may be. So, they were basically saying that like if she had that kind of relationship with them, then she might have said some things to D'Erica that you shouldn't say as a coach, but you could say as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, girl, are you trying to start a family? Like stuff like that. As a coach, you don't say that. But as somebody's friend, you can't say that. Are you stuff like that? So I can see that angle too. But either way, girl, it's illegal. Like it's illegal.
No, fact. No, definitely, it's definitely illegal. I don't know how long this shit. First of all, like I said last week, I didn't even know this shit was still going on until it came across everybody's phone. So,
well, they got remember because last year Becky had to sit out. What was that? I think 2 games, something like that. So what happened was D'Erica didn't think that was a good enough punishment, and they had to forfeit one of their draft picks. I can't remember. Was it for last? I can't remember. I think it was the next year, maybe. I don't know. But they had to forfeit one of their draft picks as well. And so maybe it was this year for their first rounder. But anyway, long story short, basically, D'Erica didn't think that was a good enough punishment, so she took it to the federal level. Which, hey,
if you know you right, do what you gotta do to be right. Shit,
fighting, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, she doing all this and still hooping like a motherfucker, boy. Fact. Shout out to her, man. For real, because that shit ain't. You know, this shit got to be stressful. This is stressful. This is stressful. Yeah. Life is already stressful. And this is just extra stressors. And you a professional athlete and a mom. Like,
right.
Hey, being a mom, y'all are that's a job itself.
Man, what? Who you talking
you got 2 jobs anyway, just being a mom and then going to work. So it's like,
it's funny. I always tell my patients, I'm like, this right here, what I'm doing for work, this is my leisure time. When I get home, that's when my real 9 to 5 starts.
Yeah, shit. You know what? I'm so glad school start tomorrow. My God.
Why would
I don't. In the middle of the week, listen, if that's what you need to do to get your mind right, teachers, start in the middle of the week. I don't care.
He said, as long as these kids up out of here.
As long as they, yes. Man, oh, my goodness.
No, let's be real. We know the real reason why Jay want them kids gone all day. We know the reason why.
You know what? Tomorrow is going to be fun, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to keep talking about these aces. Over the weekend, no, and before we move on, anything else about this situation? I don't want to just jump over that. I feel like everything been saying.
Yeah, I think that's everything kind of.
I'm gonna say we stand for D'Erica.
Yeah, we covered on everything. The Aces, the season came back on last Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Aces played the Liberty on Saturday, and then they played the Spark on Sunday. So they went 1-1. But after the game on Saturday, you know, we had our conversations during the game, watching it. Well, I think Lowe was watching it through messages because you was out and about moving. But the Liberty, I mean, the Aces didn't look good at all, like whatsoever. Honestly, the Liberty didn't look that much better at either. Sabrina was just going crazy. But the world is just up in arms about the Aces. And my question, I'm going to ask you, Nick, kick it off, man. Should we be concerned about them right now? August 20th, 2024. Should we be concerned?
Yes and no. I'll say yes, we should be concerned because I guess I'm always comparing this team to last year's team. You know, last year they went 34-6, and I know that was a different team. You know, they had Candace Parker for half the season and everything, and then of course this year, you know, they've dealt with a lot of issues. Obviously, Chelsea Gray missing like the first portion of the year, but to me, there's a lot of issues with this Aces team. We even talked about it too. I mean, Chelsea Gray, even though she makes such a big impact, we all question, you know, if she really is 100%. I mean, even Lowe alluded to when she traveled to Paris for the Olympics, how she had a team doctor with her. And it's like, you know, if you're healthy, why do you have to have the team doctor travel with you? So that's something to look at as well. And also, I just personally feel like the Aces are just not all the way locked in and all the way engaged. I mean, you look at that game against New York, they were up, I believe, 28-17 or something like that early in the first quarter. And they only scored like 6-7 points in the second quarter, which is crazy to me. And that was pretty much the stretch where Sabrina just went crazy, like knocking down threes, being able to get to the basket, pretty much taking over the game. So there's just too many stretches with this Aces team to where they're not all the way locked in and they're all the way engaged. And I feel like with this team, especially being the 2-time defending champs, you know, I think that you got to stamp your mark, especially now that we're going into or pretty much we're closing, you know, the regular season. So this is the best time right now for them to be locked in and engaged. Now, give credit to them because they did bounce back. in that game on Sunday against the Sparks, but there definitely are some concerns. But I'm also not concerned because this is still the 2-time defending champs.
Yes.
And this team still features the best player in the world. So at least to me, even though this team hasn't been locked in, even early in the year when they started out like it was like 66 or something like that. So even though they are sitting at the 4th seed, and even though they might not be one of the top contenders in the league, this is still a team to beat, in my opinion. This is still a team that you don't want to face in the playoffs, regardless of what seed that they are. So yes, there are some concerns, and a 3-peat is at stake, even though we all do predict that they can 3-peat. But this journey is not going to be easy. But I like it though at the same time, because I feel like championship teams, they need to have some adversity. You know what I'm saying? It can't be easy. It can't be an easy journey throughout the entire ride. So this is an adversity that they got to face on the court, and then let's just see if they can figure it out.
No, definitely. You definitely gonna have some hurdles in that 3rd year. Definitely trying to do a 3-peat. I mean, you're gonna have hurdles anyway, but that 3-peat, because motherfuckers are just tired of you winning at this point, so they're gonna try any and every way to dethrone you. But Lowe, do you think they should be any concern, or should we be tossing them, putting dirt on the Aces right now?
I agree with Nick. I think that we shouldn't hit the panic button, or Aces fans in general, basketball fans in general, shouldn't hit the panic button. However, I think they should be slightly concerned. I think up until this point in the season, the Aces haven't really shown me personally that they're front runners to win the championship, and essentially 3-peat. And like Nick said, like, winning a championship anyway is hard, but we're talking about 3-peat. It's only happened one time in WNBA history, and that's with the Houston Comets winning, 4 times back to back to back to back. So in my opinion, it's not a talent thing. It's not a skill set thing. It's just an effort thing. And outside of Asia and Jackie, this team has been super unserious this entire year. I want to first just go back to even the offseason. Natalie Williams, who is the Aces GM, made lateral moves. They did not get better in the offseason, which was very disappointing because they had money for a max player. And so you would think after winning a championship, and then still being in position to possibly get a max player, how do you not capitalize on that? And yes, I understand they believe that Candace Parker was going to play this season, and her retirement kind of put like a wrinkle into their plans. However, as a GM, you have multiple options. Like you make a list of, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm going after this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have multiple options, not just put all your eggs in one basket.
I do that in video games.
Right. So secondly, like Nick was saying about Chelsea Gray, we know what her injury did to this team. It got them off to a slow start. They're better defensively, better offensively when she's in the game. Even when she's not 100%, the statistics show their offensive rating and their defensive rating is better. If I had to put a number to it, I would say she's at about 75%. She has zero explosiveness. Her shots are all short because she's not using her legs. She's getting cooked on defense. She can't get past anybody on offense. Like, this is someone I call the best point guard of all time, and she's not playing well. The same way I'll give her praise, the same way I'll criticize her. And I think it's not because a skill set thing. I think it's literally because she's not healthy. I don't think she's 100%. I don't think anyone that has watched Chelsea Gray previously play can say that she's at 100% right now. So that's also a problem. Can she get to 85 to 90% by the time playoffs come? Because if we look back at 2022, she didn't have a great regular season, but during the playoffs, it was historic. She turned up. So can we still get that magic? I don't know. I think the injury was a lot more serious than what they led on to believe. And my last point is basically the most frustrating point to me is just their half-ass effort. They don't go after these balls. They're turning the ball over, so sloppy with it. A lot of one-on-one basketball. They go long stretches without getting Asia the ball. Like,
it's ridiculous.
It's like it's frustrating. Sometimes I don't even like to watch them play because it's irritating. Like, you guys are so much better than what you're used to playing. Why am I going to waste my brain cells watching y'all half-ass? So
my brain.
For real, like, that's the main thing. So it's just like, I understand they probably think they're good enough to just turn it on and turn it off, but they have to realize that the rest of the field, every team got better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a walk in the park. And again, adversity is going to hit, especially when you're trying to three-peat, and especially when you're just trying to win a championship in general. But like, the fact that your coach has to call you out weeks before the playoffs to talk about effort,
that's insane.
And y'all trying to three-peat? Nah, they got to get it together.
No, they do. Y'all making great point. I mean, I agree with everything y'all
also,
saying.
Just real
like,
quick,
go ahead.
Just something to point out. So last year, the Aces they ranked second in points allowed. This year, they only ranked 7th. So that's a big drop off, in my opinion, as far as points allowed. So, I mean, that pretty much shows the defense is like kind of lackadaisical.
Because a lot of people want to point to the offense, but I've been saying it's been defense all year. Like outside of Asia defending her person, it's trash. Like they're not disciplined. They're out of position. They're just not in the right spots. And last year, that's something that they could hang their hats on. Like if they needed to go out there and get a stop, they can go get a stop and win the ball game. This year, it's honestly up in the air. Like their defense is not great at all.
It's not. The offense just looks real. Everybody look like they don't know what they're doing. Like Kelsey looked like, I don't know what the fuck. I think Nick said it in the group chat too. Like, I don't know what the fuck Kelsey be doing sometimes. Like, she be running around. Like, I don't even think she know her assignment. I don't know if she know her role. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, they just look lost sometimes. Like, it's like sometimes they get out there, they just either they're watching somebody dribble or they're running around and they do like a desperation 3-pointer. And come on now, we all know half the time they're not going in. Not more than half, it's not going in. We just throwing some shit up at the end of the shot clock. It just looked like you said, and then it goes stretches where I'm like, damn, Asia on the court? And she be on the court.
Exactly. Like, it should never be a point where she goes over. It should never be a point in the game where Asia goes over 1 minute of actual basketball playing time without touching the ball. Never should be a point in the game.
Never. That's a big problem. And the Asia, like if Asia need a break, if Asia need to go sit her ass on the bench for 30 seconds, it looks bad. Like it looks bad out there. So the Asia list minutes are bad. When Asia's on the court, they can be bad if she's not being Superwoman. Like she had to steal the ball and get the ball and take the ball down a couple times just to even get something going. That's it. That shit still didn't work. So it's just, I know it gotta be frustrating to her because I know she wants to repeat. You know, she knows she hooping like she wants to, but like we always say, defense is effort. And at this point, we can't be talking about effort in August on defense.
Right.
I can take that in May. I can even take that shit in June. Like I can't do that. I don't know where Nick. Well, we still here. We with you, Nick. I don't know why you even doing that shit in.
I'm still here. Hang on. I got to get my camera together.
So you good, bro? We good, bro. I don't know. Like right now, August is not a good sign. And I really want to know what's being said in that locker room amongst the players because it's like, yeah, the coach can say all you want to, y'all know, but we're on the court battling for real. Like I gotta know that you really want to be doing this 3P. And sometimes it just look like they just be out there. Like you said, Chelsea she looks. It's Achilles, man. Like there's no lift ever. Like. And you know you can still pass. You can still pass the ball. She can still be crafty. Absolutely. That ain't got nothing to do with. That ain't got nothing to do with none of that. But to shoot it and just blow past somebody to even be able to do that is not there. It's like every other game or every couple games we see that.
We'll see, but even when we see it, it's like a little spurt. It's not the whole time.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Spurt, so.
Nick, camera's messing up. It's just me and Lowe. It's all good. He gonna be back at some point. We'll figure this out. But. Yeah, like you said, it should be some concern. Like I know I've been saying from all year, like, listen, if we're in a slow start, I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them not being able to three-peat. But now it's starting to be to the point we starting to talk about the same shit. Mm-hmm. We keep, you know what I'm saying? So now it's starting to be, welcome back, Nick. It's starting to be like hey now we said we wasn't worried in May.
Right.
But we still seeing some of the same shit going on in August. Right. And the season ends next month. So it's like, you got to get your shit together. Like Nick said, they got Asia. I'm always gonna have confidence. You got the best player on your team in a series. But like I was looking now, like say like the playoffs started today, it's like how confident are you they're gonna beat Seattle? You know
tough. What I'm saying? They just got Gabby Williams too.
You know what I'm saying? Like the playoffs start this weekend. They got Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, are we confident? Are we? Yeah, I'm confident in Asia.
Aren't those series are still best out of 3, right?
Yeah, first round.
Yeah.
First round,
so it's like you fuck around.
It's no room for like error in the first round at all.
None. So it's like get y'all shit together. Like we can't keep saying
even if they played a team like Phoenix in the first round, like it's still a tough matchup.
Yeah, like you don't want to play none of them. Like, and even if like that little range, you got Minnesota, Vegas, Seattle, and Phoenix. Like, does Vegas want to play the Lynx in the first round? They drop down. Like, you don't get your shit together because everybody's coming for you. No matter what seed you fall in, everybody gonna give you their best. Like, regardless.
No, I'm be real. I think Minnesota gonna shock somebody. Like I legitimately think
I do too. I'm with y'all. I'm definitely with y'all. I think they go shock somebody too. I'm definitely with y'all there. We gotta stop agreeing so much. We agree this much in the chat, in the group chat.
And hold on, they just got Maisha Hines.
In the trade,
and so she's a nice piece off the bench. Mm-hmm. So that's improvement to their bench in regards to scoring and just a big body down there that can bang.
But it's like, do you feel like they have a heavy front court though?
They do.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
They got Fee, they got D'Erica, they got obviously Diamond Miller. Like, I don't know, they got a lot of front court players.
They do. I agree.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun however this shit lands. It's gonna be fun. I'm glad you even brought up. I didn't even bring them up, but I am gonna bring them up now. Connecticut. We're just gonna move on to them. Mm-hmm. They had a big trade, and I guess she had her debut. Was that Thursday?
Friday against Dallas, I believe.
Friday. Marina Mabrey. Mm-hmm. First of all, I didn't want the Sky to trade her. Let's start there. I didn't want that, but she looked good out there. And then tonight she started. I didn't watch the game, but she started today. Did anyone of y'all catch it before we jumped on?
I caught a little bit of it.
You did.
But I want to say she's been starting all 3 games.
Yeah, she has started all 3.
Oh, she has. I didn't know. I didn't know that against
Atlanta.
They had DeWanna Bonner coming off the bench.
Crazy. Oh, I didn't know she. Okay. That is crazy though. That is insane.
They said the last time she came off the bench was 11 years ago.
Come on, man. It's DeWanna Bonner, man. Come on. I don't know what Stephanie's doing with these rotations. I get it. This is a new team. You're trying to experiment new things in the second half of the year, but I'm not.
Though, you gotta. I don't agree with it, but you have to. Now is the time to try different lineups out before the playoffs come. So, but does this change them?
Oh, my fault.
So she had Ty Harris, Dejanay, Marina, Bree, and AT out there to start.
Nick, you're not feeling that, huh? Nick, like
I'm not feeling a few lineups. First and foremost, I mean, I'm a fan of Marina. I think she's a really exceptional scorer. If you ask me, and I think I've told y'all this before too, I think that her presence in the second unit will be a lot better to me. Like, to me, I think you still keep that backcourt with Ty Harris and Dejanay, especially with how well Ty Harris has been playing for them this season. Mm-hmm. I think she's been a really huge spark. So, especially with Marina, and I mean, Marina also has experience, coming off the bench, especially during a couple years in Dallas. So I feel like with her being a scoring punch off the bench for that team, and we talked about it too. I mean, I think that Connecticut definitely could use some more offense, especially outside of plays like DeWanna. And honestly, I mean, even if she doesn't even start the game, I mean, it doesn't mean that she can't finish the game. You know what I'm saying?
But true. No,
but to me, I just feel like in this situation in Connecticut, I just feel like she should not be a starter, especially like, for instance, in Atlanta. Like when they played Atlanta on Sunday, she shot 4 for 17, like, which is crazy to me. And I know that Connecticut didn't really have a good shooting performance, like as a whole, but I don't know. Like I just
is insane.
Exactly. But I feel like, if you're gonna be a starting guard, you have to like at least provide a little bit more. But like I said, I mean, I do think that Marina's a good key factor on the team. I just don't know if she needs to be in the starting lineup personally.
Do she make them better? I know a lot of people don't believe in Connecticut like that. But do she make them better? Does she make them a favorite to win it all?
I don't know if she moves the needle, but she definitely provides a ton of offense to me. And I think that was what Connecticut was missing, especially throughout this year. I mean, even though they did have a really good start, but we still felt like they were still missing a scoring punch, outside of DeWanna to me.
Okay. How about you, Lowe? How do you feel about them?
I agree. I think she makes them better, but to me, it doesn't make them because when I think of true contender, I think of you going to the finals, and I don't think that she makes them good enough to go to the finals. I'm looking at the comments, and Q said that she did talk about DB. She did get in the game super early, though. She did. So she will still be playing. I don't know if this is the lineup, because the last 3 games has been 3 different starting lineups. So I don't know if this is the lineup that Stephanie White's going to stay with, but I will say that DB got, basically starter minutes as well. And today Marina didn't, I think she was shot 2 for 6 from the field. So only had 5 points. So not a great showing for her. They got the W. That's all that matters. But Marina is, I think that's what they needed. We've been talking about it for years. Like Connecticut is almost there, but they're just not there because they can't score the basketball. And so you go out and get, somebody who is deemed like a sharpshooter. She's not having the greatest. Her 3-point shooting is a little bit down this year from last year, but last year she was, she was shooting 39% from long distance. So once she gets her numbers back up, hopefully it's trending in the upward direction when playoff comes. I think she'll definitely help them because she adds more pace to their game, and they're the slowest paced team in the league. But also she spreads the floor with her shooting. And like I said before, when DeWanna Bonner isn't scoring 15 points or more, they typically lose. So now you have someone on there that can kind of offload her scoring. When DB's having a rough game, you have another person that can go out and get 20 if she sees the first couple go in. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely got better. However, I don't think that they're good enough to win the championship.
I get you on that. One thing I want to talk about real quick is when
shout out to Q in the chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, shout out to you, Q, man. You always, talking to us. You talk about contender. I see a lot of time people have different definitions of contenders. Like you said, like if you can't make it to the finals, you're not a contender. I know some people be like, hey, if you can make it to the conference finals, you are a contender. So off your definition of contender, how many contenders are there?
I think the Liberty are contenders, clearly. I like Minnesota as contenders. And I need to see. I'm never going to count out the Aces because they have the best player in the world.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
My final team for that, the fourth team, will be the Storm. I want to see what they look like with Gabby. So those are the ones that I would consider contenders. Like someone told me today that the Fever were contenders. I was like, what?
Oh my God, please.
We're gonna talk about that.
Please.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about them. But I'm actually glad you brought this. If y'all have nothing else to say about the Sun, we could talk about the Storm since you brought them up because the Gabby situation was like a late thing this evening, and so it was like we didn't really even mention that. But it's like I'm seeing a lot of people say like Seattle are the like. You know how it is with sports. People are saying they might be a top 2 team to win it all now. Like, listen, we still have to see how they're gonna be. Like, listen, we're all glad she's back. We're all glad she's back. But we're not gonna. I'm not just gonna jump off the ledge and be like, "Yo, they're the favorites now." I'm not gonna say that. I mean, Nick, how you feel, Nick, about Gabby going back to the Storm?
I like it. I think Gabby Williams, I know that there was a whole situation as far as why she wasn't in the league, but obviously, with us seeing her in the Olympics, we still see that Gabby's an exceptional two-way player. And I think now her being in Seattle, especially as one of the wings, I think it definitely elevates the team. My thing is with Seattle, like, at least as I've been looking at them this year, to me, they're good, but I feel like they're really, honestly, 1 year away from really establishing themselves as true contenders. Like I say, they can compete with with the other top contenders. Hell, they've even beat the Aces one time. I know that they've been back and forth with Minnesota a couple times, but I don't know. We've already touched on this before. But obviously, Jewel Lloyd has not been at her best, and as far as what we've expected, Skylar's been pretty good. NECA, I think NECA's done a really good job playing her role in Seattle. Same thing with Ezzy Mabagor. I think Ezzy's probably one of the more underrated players in the league overall. But I don't know. There's just something about Seattle. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of hard for me to put them in that same conversation as like the Lynx or New York or the Aces per se. Like I said, I think they're a really good team, but maybe they still need another year before they can really establish themselves as true contenders in this league.
I agree with that. I think that in my opinion, one of the main issues is Jewel Lloyd. And I say that respectfully because she's still in the top 10, top 5, I think, in scoring in the league. But the one thing that Jewel Lloyd was adept at was shooting 3-pointers. This year, she's shooting 26% from long distance. That's terrible. Like gross. Last year, she shot 35%. That is a huge difference. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is.
If she's able to pick up her scoring, and she's averaging less points this year as well, but we all know that she has more talent around her. but it almost seems like she doesn't know when to be like that dog. You know what I'm saying? Like she don't know. Yeah. She kind of is like, okay, well, let me make sure Nneka gets her touches, or let me make sure Skylar gets her touches. I got to make sure Izzy, as you know, I got to make sure she's involved as well. So it's like, stop thinking and just hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop thinking.
That's and just like, I feel like Nneka, Skylar, they should all be telling her like, yo, Jewel, just be assertive offensively. Put the ball in the basket. You are leading scorer. You need to like lead us the way. Like that's what I think the mindset should be.
Absolutely, because regardless of who they get, Gabby, they can get anybody. If Jewel isn't their leading scorer, they're not winning anything. Like that's just because the thing about Jewel is other players, other guards, like when they're not shooting well, they do other things. When Jewel's not shooting well, she doesn't do other things like that.
No,
like she be lax. Like it's not like she's gonna go shut you down on defense. She's not gonna really run in there to rebound. Like she'll pass the ball here and there, but Jewel's not gonna average like 7-8 assists. Like that's just not her game. Jewel is a pure scorer. She just scores the basketball. That is what she's good at. So when you are a pure scorer and that is your niche, like when you're not scoring well or when you're not able to shoot the 3 ball like you're used to, it's like, what are you really out there doing? Like, what are you giving? What are you giving the team? So in the beginning of the year, they said that, hey, this is Jewel's team. She said it like, I'm taking over this team, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and now adding somebody else, then how's she gonna really be acting now? Adding another damn body into the situation, so it's really gonna be interesting to see how Seattle's gonna be. I'm glad Gabby is back, but I'm not gonna be saying they're the front runners or they are a top 2 front runner. I can't come on now.
They're definitely talented though. Like when you actually look at the roster, it's a lot of talent.
It definitely is.
Even Jordan Horston with her taking that step this year, like it's a lot of talent on that.
No, it is.
And when Ezzy starts to get more aggressive, like since the Olympic break, she's been a little bit more aggressive. But like when she really realizes how good she is and where her ceiling is, this team is going like next year. This team is going to be really good, like really good.
It's funny we're talking about them. I saw somebody on Twitter say, when you graduated from high school, what WNBA team won? And I had to look. I don't even know who won.
Shout out to show.
Yeah. I had to look. It was a damn storm, and I'm not gonna let y'all not gonna know what year it was. y'all gotta figure that shit out yourself, which one I'm talking about. But when I graduated, it was the damn storm. So shout out the damn storm, man. I didn't even realize.
Lauren Jackson was on the team then.
Listen, y'all figure that shit. Oh, listen, y'all figure that shit. Yes. But yeah, it's crazy that I didn't. Man, the storm. It's been that long. The storm been doing their thing, but I can still see the storm making a run. Not say they're gonna. I can see them knocking somebody off. I can see them making it tough for somebody, even if they don't win a series, but to just win it all.
I mean, that's not a team you want to see in round 1. I wouldn't.
Hell no. Hell no. Like, listen, the Aces don't want to see them in the first round.
They don't.
Listen, you don't. Say what you want to say. You don't want to see that squad. No. Not the way Gabby was just fucking with them. Listen, Asia just saw with her own eyes, like, we don't want to see them girls in the first round. Hell no. So it's gonna be fun. It's a lot of people, a lot of different people saying contenders. I do like your definition of contender because, like, contender is like you can win it all. Like, not almost to get there. Like, I mean, that's a good. I know some people would not agree with that definition of contender. I feel like that should be the standard of contender. Not
okay. Should we just separate championship contenders and playoff contenders?
And people don't. They used to. And you're supposed to do it, but people don't do that shit no more. It's like if you say somebody don't make it to if you say they're not contender to win it all, they get mad, but they're not.
Right.
They're good. You can be a good team and not win it all. Or don't be a contender.
Right. Like,
yeah, you just don't have only one team winning anyway. Like only one team wins. So it's like, but you could be really good and just don't have it until next year. So I mean, I like that definition. Some people not going to.
Who the hell said Indiana was a contender, dog?
Yeah, I knew that's what he wanted to get to. I was wrapping it up. I was.
Someone thinking about that. Someone tweeted it today, and they were like, "Yeah, I mean, they're contenders," and I was like, "What I was so confused. Like, I literally responded. They weren't even talking to me, and I still responded. I'm like, contenders of what? Of making the playoffs? But like." To me, like I said, anytime I hear somebody say contender, I automatically think like, are they able to win the championship? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so If they're talking about contender to make the playoffs, absolutely. But outside of that, hell no.
They're the 7th seed. What are we talking about? Come on.
They said it.
Listen, man. You know it's gonna happen after she was going crazy. Let's start there. Like, I enjoy watching her play, and we know who I'm talking about. Everybody,
yes.
I like watching her play. But it's the fans, it's the shit y'all saying. Y'all talking about them being contenders. I saw people even talking about like she's contending for Asia's MVP award. Like, come on, man. You know what? Lowe said this shit in the first episode. Asia is having a historic season, and no one's talking about this shit because they're talking about Caitlin Clark ass all the time.
She is unanimous 27 MVP.
And 12. Averaging 27 and 12, and people sitting behind a computer on their couch saying, "Oh, she's impressive to watch." Shut your fat ass up. Like
Q just said the Fever might get one game in the first round. That's it. I honestly might. I would agree with that. They could probably get one win in the first round.
I can give you because she got Caitlin got the type of clip to the point that would shoot you into a game that can win you a game if the other team don't take them seriously. But outside of that, the 7th seed, like, they got to play Connecticut in the first round. The playoffs start today. Come on, man. Like, what we and then you talking about Asia, she talking about she in the same, no one's in the same highway as Asia for MVP. Asia just had 33 and 15 the other night.
And 35 and 15 and no 34 and 15 and 35 minutes.
Come on, man. Historic shit she doing. I can't tell you the last time outside of her playing in the Olympics that Asia didn't have a double-double. And it was like a 20 plus double-double. Like, I can't remember the last time she didn't. So it's like, we having historic shit happening in this league, and it's not even being talked about. It's not being talked about on these podcast shows. It's not being talked about on ESPN. None of that shit. Like, she's literally having a historic season. Go look that shit up.
The 20 point, 10 rebound plus double-double. This is her 8th in a row.
Come on, man.
Nobody talking about it. And shooting 53% from the field the last, I want to say the last 4 games, averaging 29. Her average has gone up, averaging basically 30 points a game, shooting 93. This is off of the top of the dome. I didn't write this down. She's shooting 93% from the free throw line. Like, what are we talking about?
As a big.
She's shooting 40% from 3-point range. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's again, like I said on the first episode, it is levels. And I think people unfortunately get screwed up from recency bias, right? Or not even recency bias. It's almost like when you're just sick of someone being so good for so long that you're just like, okay, well, let's diminish what they're doing, when she's literally having the best WNBA season in the history of the WNBA. Like, who's had a better season than her right now?
Man,
if she continues to average this for the next 15 games, she's going to go down as the leader for points per game, for a season. So it's like, you're talking about someone who is the front runner for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year again.
And people talking about she shouldn't even get that because all she do is block.
She's averaging 2.2 steals a game. She's top 5 in steals. What are y'all talking about?
They said she can't cover like Angel. She's like a Rudy Gobert. I saw that shit on Twitter this week.
Bro, Asia can switch. All right. I can't. I literally can't. I can't. I don't got the energy. I can't. Because people are.
Look at Nick. Nick is sick of this shit. Nick is so sick of it.
Like, and that's how I feel too. Like, that's why I don't even argue. This week I haven't even been arguing or calling anybody dumbasses. I just been blocking.
Block.
Literally,
save your peace.
If you're not talking to me and I see you saying something done under somebody else's thing, I'm blocking. Like, I just can't. Like, because y'all really play in this girl face all day. Like, y'all really be playing in her face. Like, and again, what's she gonna do next year? Level up again. Y'all gonna be
level up again. Super sick. And like, y'all do all that and take it away. Like, you try to compare Caitlin to Asia. You taking all this shit away, and like, the Fever actually have improved.
They have.
They're not bad. They've improved a lot. Like, Aaliyah Boss has improved. but y'all taking away from it. Like,
that's the player we need to talk about right there. That's the player that we need to talk about, because with all the hype with Caitlin Clark right now, I mean, which is definitely deserved, because I mean, even I have admitted she's right now the front runner for Rookie of the Year. But the one thing,
bro, the race is over. But go ahead. The race is over. Go ahead, though.
I don't even want to get into it. But however, we should not be overshadowing the impact of Aaliyah Boston, because I think she's been super incredible. Average of 14 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, nearly 1.5 blocks. They've had 9 double-doubles. Like, she's pretty much, I want to say she's increased her total in rebounds, or her average in rebounds from last year, and I think her points as well. So, like I said, I mean, obviously the hype is around Caitlin, which is definitely deserved, but that team is not where they are right now without the impact of Aaliyah Boston. I mean, Aaliyah Boston is definitely shown to be one of the best two-way bigs in the league. I mean, hell, she's giving bigs a lot of problems. I mean, hell, even Brittany Griner was pissed last week. You know, was threatening to knock her out, which is crazy to me.
Oh, we're gonna.
But even the versatility and everything. I mean, Aaliyah Boston's a great passer, great defender. Obviously, she can score inside. She can step out and knock down, and space the floor and everything. Like, Aaliyah Boston's been super incredible this year, and I don't want that to be overshadowed just because of how good Caitlin has been.
No, that's facts, because the team as a whole has been playing really good basketball, really good, and then all these goofy fans is going to take, and I think fans in general do this in sports and music anyway, but they take away from people's greatness. This is why people don't like a lot of players. This is why people aren't going to like Caitlin, because she's not even a bad player. Like, if you love hoops, you're gonna respect her game. You're gonna like watching her. But it sucks when you're watching her go off, that you know that Twitter's about to be insane. People you talk to in public who are Caitlin fans is gonna be insane. It's like, damn, whenever she have a great game, we came and celebrate it, because y'all gonna be saying, y'all came and say, yeah, like, you just say all type of little crazy stuff. You can't just be like, man, she went off, she good. No, y'all gotta say she the greatest of all time. She the MVP. You gotta say all this shit. Like, why can't we just be like, man, she's really good. She's helping the Fever, and they're in the 7th seed. Not a contender, but she got them in the playoffs. That's enough to win Rookie of the Year. MVP race. Look, she had to be they got to be number 2 or 1 to be in the MVP race. That's just for me. Like, I'm not with the type. I don't like giving MVP awards to 6 seeds and shit like that. Like, 7 seeds. You really got to be going crazy for me to be like, you know what? You got a point. Caitlin should be in there with Asia. That's not happening. She's going off like she should, but don't do that, man. I don't want to preach hoops. I want to appreciate her.
An MVP. Like, what are we doing?
No, she's not. No, she's not, bro. She's not. Let her have a Rookie of the Year, man. I don't want to turn into a Caitlin section of the pod, but it just happens because every week is something new. And as I say that, I just want to get Lowe's reaction, because we talked about it in the group chat. But listen, y'all. Listen, all the people are new to hoops. Yes. Did Skylar Diggins bump her? Yes. Guess what? Did she bump Caitlin Clark at the end of the little shit going to the bench? She did, but that shit happens in hoops. And every time somebody get in her face, we don't have to talk about it on the next shows the next day, all day long, about a bump. It happens. Watch sports. People do it all the time.
And not too much on Skylar Shannon Sharp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my.
Chill out.
God
chill
damn.
Out, like,
oh my God.
To me, it's just like we said earlier, with Asia having a historic season and no one talking about it. We're talking about a damn hip check by Kennedy Carter for weeks, and then we're talking about Skylar bumping into her. Like, are y'all mentally well? Like, are y'all okay? It's a competitive sport. These women are competitors. Like,
yeah, and they hear the shit y'all saying.
Like, it's literally something that I would have did. So I started laughing. I thought it was actually hysterical. Like, I thought it was funny. Because even though we're in Indiana, you're not celebrating in front of my bench, not while I'm
like, no, facts. No,
like, that's just the dog in me. That's the competitor to me. Like, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
If I see it, I'm knocking you off your spot. And then that's Caitlin's job to stand up for herself or keep walking like she did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the thing that disgustes me is this whole jealousy word. And granted, we have 144 players in the WNBA. I'm not going to sit here and say that everyone isn't I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not one person that's jealous of Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure people are pissed. I'm sure people are looking like, hey, this little 22-year-old came and got a $22 million deal from Nike. So that probably is the case. But the fact that these media personnel are trying to insinuate that everyone in the league is doing these things because they hate her or they're jealous of her is just a very tired narrative. I'm sick of the discourse. It's only used for women, that jealousy word, and that shit is irritating. Like when, and I used this as an example in the podcast yesterday, when Draymond's acting like a whole ass, nobody says that he's doing that because he's jealous, right? He literally stomped on Sabonis' chest. He punched his own teammate in the face. No one mentioned jealousy, but
he choked out Gobert. He choked out Gobert.
All this shit is
like we can literally go down a list. Body slam Bradley Beal. We can literally go down a list of the things that he has done. Like he is a loose cannon, and no one has. When has anyone ever said anything about him being jealous to the guys that he's doing these things to? No one's ever said that. Like they're using this for women when they are competitors. Like it is a hip check. It is her bumping into her. I will bump into her too to let you know it's a mental game. Like, yeah, next game y'all got us this game, but next game we got y'all. Like I'm bumping into her too. Like, so it's just basketball, man. Like it's just, and for Shannon Sharpe to be, you know, a Hall of Famer and a professional athlete, a retired professional athlete, like acting like he never did anything like that on the field. Like, please spare me. Please spare me.
But playing football. Listen.
Exactly. Please
spare me. With his thin skin. With his thin skin, you best believe he definitely has.
Yeah, what? Man, they did all that type of in football. It happens so much in football because you never know who hitting for real or not. Like it's easy to get away with that shit. So to be acting like that and just to be jumping on her own scholar like that, it's ridiculous. Every time somebody do something to her, we gotta talk about it on First Take or whatever other show on Fox or whatever. All these other podcasts, it's just annoying. Like Q said in the chat. It happens at LA Fitness all the time. Like, this happens. Like, you're not, I'm a competitor. Like you are too, Lowe. I'm sure you are, Nick. Like, man, I don't give a fuck where we playing. I want you to lose. You're not going to just be celebrating in my face. I don't give a fuck where we at. Like, this not going
to happen. It's just, I agree. It's just like, bro, it's sports. Like, it's just so confusing to me. Like, the stuff that I would do, like, yeah. Like I would, run and slap the coach on the butt, like shit like that. Like I was a menace.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I'm saying?
me. Like, yeah, absolutely,
just, bro. It's just sports, and I think what people also don't shine a light on is the fact that Caitlin be out there chirping, bro. Caitlin be talking
literally. Talk about it,
right? Like the thing is, Caitlin be talking your shit, and if I'm going off like that, I'm talking my shit too, right? So people always
mean shit. What?
Right? People always see like the reaction. They don't see, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't see the initiation. They always see the reaction to it. Like, she's a big girl. You don't have to put a cape on for sister. She can literally hoop. Like, y'all don't got to keep saving this girl like she's a damsel in distress. Like, she's fine. I promise.
That's how they making her. That's exactly how they're making her seem in the media. Like, come on, man. Like, this is, like you said, she chirp. She like that at Iowa. She talks all the time. Like you said, if I can shoot like that, I'm talking to.
Man, what?
What?
I'm coming down. What you want this one from the parking lot this time? All right, bet. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm talking crazy.
Right.
What? And I just don't like in sports. People don't like people talking shit no more, man. Look, I talk shit all the time. That's part of sports. That's part of sport. As long as I'm not being disrespectful, I'm not talking about your wife, your kid, nothing like that. I'm having fun to get you out your game. That's it.
Exactly.
And people don't understand that these days. So it's just like, yeah, did Skylar speed up? Yeah, who gives a fuck? She did it to let her know. Like, seriously, who gives a fuck if she sped up? Don't do that shit here.
Like, why are people overreacting to that? I don't even.
People act like she pushed her and stumped her up and stumped her out or something. She didn't stump her out. It was if people didn't point it out, the naked eye didn't even notice that shit.
Yeah, because I didn't notice.
people just, I didn't notice that shit either. Like people just gotta point that shit out.
Like collide, but I didn't notice. Yeah, I didn't notice that Skylar sped up a little bit. But
I saw like, yeah, it's basketball. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, this is she sped up, and she bumped her. Move on. Like, no one fell to the ground. Caitlin didn't even respond. I don't think she responded.
And that's the thing. Like, Caitlin don't even be responding and doesn't care. It's the other people. Like, how y'all care more than her, and it happened to her. Like, what?
She don't give a fuck.
Like, bro, Caitlyn don't be caring. Like, that's the crazy part about it. So
she don't be caring. She don't care. Honestly, she probably was happy as fuck that she wasn't part of the Olympics, so she get a break. I'm not gonna lie to you. She
literally wanted to go on vacation, and then you have Draymond and Baron Davis. Oh, Caitlyn should have been on the team, and they're like one game away from winning gold. Like, why do we care at this point? Caitlyn don't care. Like, Caitlyn is, I don't know where she was at, but she was chilling.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, like, if we're keeping it a buck, like the whole team looks re-energized. They all got a break. They all got to practice together. They got time to put individual work in. Caitlyn said on the broadcast that she was working on her floater doing that, and you can see her implementing that in her game. This is a team that went from 1-8 to they started the season 1-8 to now winning 11 and losing 7 or whatever. So I think that they look a lot better. They use that time wisely because you can just see the chemistry forming. And so that's why in the beginning of the year when they were losing and started off 1-8, I'm like, bro, give them time. This is a brand new team. They are trying to learn how to play with Caitlyn. She is a dynamic player. You have to have your hands ready at all times. You have to be able to move up and down the court because they're ranked 4th in pace. She gets the ball because she's a good rebounder as a guard. She gets the ball. She's either doing a full length court pass, or and it lands right in their catching pocket, and or what I'm saying, like she's pushing the pace, she's pushing and dribbling the ball up fast to get the offense going. So number one, that takes cardio.
That's tiring for real.
That takes chemistry so that they can get used to it. So now after the 3.5 weeks off, you see the chemistry with her and Leah Boston better in the pick and roll. You see the chemistry with her and Kelsey Mitchell, like they're playing great off of one another. You just see them gelling together. And I've been saying this because this team is literally kind of like the Aces when they first started to figure out that they were good, right? As time progresses, if they can keep their core together, because like I said, they drafted Caitlyn, of course, at number 1, Aaliyah Boston at number 1. The year before that,
hold on, stop right there for a second. Stop there for a second. Stop for a second. You said the last 2 picks was the top pick.
Yes.
They're going to be 1-8 for a reason. When you got 2 picks, like.
Exactly. And so people don't understand. You look at Kelsey Mitchell. She was number 2 as well. Nalissa Smith, she was number 2 as well. Katie Lou was number 4. Like they have talent on there. And people that actually know basketball knew that. We just knew that it would take time to gel. Like, and so this is what we're seeing now. We're finally seeing chemistry. If they can keep Kelsey Mitchell and they can keep this core together, they'll make some noise next year. I'm not saying that they're contenders or winning, but they won't be 7th place. I'll say that.
Because them being 7th now, I'm like, damn, they really are. But like you said, that Olympics break definitely helped. And like you said, she said it was working on stuff, and it's gonna be fun. It's just like give them time. Just let Caitlyn be great without y'all having a cape for her, because she don't need it. I promise you.
She don't. But even if you think about it, look at Sabrina Ionescu, right? When she first came in, oh, she's the great white hope. Oh, she's the best thing ever. Oh, she's that. But it's taking it to her 4th year for her to really get in her bag. Like, let these women develop. Like, let them get comfortable at the professional level. Like, we just put all these, not we, but y'all put all these expectations on these players to perform like they're the best player in the world right off bat. Like, it's just not realistic, It's
not. And I think that happens just in sports in general. Like, people just expect they're really good, but they're not just going to come in. Not every single one will come in just going crazy off the jump. They're coming to bad teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's a lot.
Last thing I'm going to say before we move on to Caitlyn, Deschelle made a post today about the best rookies in the history of WNBA, in the WNBA history. And someone was literally trying to argue with me that Caitlin Clark had a better rookie season than Candace
Parker. They better not say it. Oh, I'm mad as fuck. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
What?
Oh my God, they better not say that she was better than Candace Parker.
They did, Nick. That's what I'm saying. They did. They indeed did. And I literally just blocked. I couldn't go back and forth. I just blocked.
Yo. First of all, that's insane to say when Candace Parker was Rookie of the Year and MVP. First of all, that's like
exactly.
This is why I be responding. People just be pissing me off, dog.
Like, how do you say some shit like that, yo, before the season even over with?
Yeah, and shout out to Vernon, because he probably gonna watch this, but he said Maya Moore was better because she won in her first year. I'm like, dude, We're talking about individual. We're talking about individual accolades. MVP and Rookie of the Year in the same. Come on, bro. Come on. No.
Do you know how hard? Do you know how hard it is to do that shit in sports in general?
Yeah, only three people in basketball have done it.
And let's talk about
that shit.
Parker being one.
She was coming off of a second national championship in a row.
Yes.
Right to the league.
Yes.
Won MVP, Rookie of the Year.
Hold on. Let's rewind for a little bit, Nick. Coming off an injury on the shoulder as well, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
She did. She definitely was. She had the little long sleeves on.
Had to
and
wear
shit.
the sleeve, but we moved.
Yes.
Okay, keep on.
Like stop playing with. Stop playing.
Like, come on, and then played in the Olympics that year too. Stop. Come on. That's all I'm saying. Nobody had a better rookie year than Candace Parker. And honestly, unless somebody wins MVP and Rookie of the Year again, she's going down as the best rookie of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I gotta agree with you on that for real, definitely. Man, we had an hour now. I don't know if y'all got anything else y'all want to talk. You know what? I do have one question for both of y'all. I saw somebody ask Chelsea Gray this question. I know we got the Bay coming, we got Toronto coming. What? I'm gonna ask you, Lowe, and Nick, you got it next. What team you want to see next after those two?
So this is the thing. I go back and forth because I really want to see like the Houston Comets come back, but then again, I don't want them to screw up the legacy. So I'm on the fence about that.
Yo, no, for real.
I'm on the fence about that. So if I had to pick, I would say, and this one sounds super random, but I would actually say like somewhere in Tennessee, like by Knoxville, because they have people there that genuinely love women's basketball. No matter how trash the University of Tennessee women are, they go out and support. Like it's a big basketball community. So
hey, she just took shots at University of Tennessee. Like,
I mean, they haven't been good since.
Yeah. No, they haven't. No.
Like
hey, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was talking about the fan base, but I'm gonna keep going.
No, the team. But no, for real, like
the fan base is
wild. Even with the team being not great since 2008, or, you know what I'm saying? Like they still show up and show out. So I would definitely want to see. I definitely would want to see one there.
And I don't think Tennessee only pro team in Tennessee is the Titans anyway. So they got room. They got
the Predators and
I forgot Nashville Predators. I forgot about them. Yes, you are absolutely right. How about you, Nick? Who you want to see next after those two teams?
Well, Q just answered my first question. I would love to see Detroit come back. I love
Q. Yes.
I would want to see a team in Philly. I think that would be dope to see one in Philly.
Ooh, has there ever been a team in Philly?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think it has been. I don't think so either.
Bring back the Miami Soul too. I would love to see them. I think they only played like a couple years, 2-3 years.
Yeah, it was like 3.
They disbanded it. It's crazy.
For me, man, bring back Sacramento, man.
I agree with that too.
I like that
because I don't know why they not there no more. I don't understand why. I guess I could probably figure out why they're not there, but we should bring them back, man. Them fans in Sacramento, if you watch NBA, man, like they like their hoops out there. Yeah. So they had a history. I would like to see them come back. I mean, we need more teams as it is, and I'm sure we're gonna get these teams back. But I'm with you though, Lowe. Houston, I don't want y'all to fuck up the legacy if y'all bring back an extra team.
That's the only thing. And I'm just for me, I think about places or locations where it's a lot of college women's basketball fans because I'm hoping that it translates to the WNBA. So those are the main, that's one of the places I would like to see. And even also the Sting in Charlotte, like back as well. Charlotte is the up and coming city for like young millennials, people that like to go to games and stuff. Bring them back.
Charlotte's an up and coming city for millennials. I didn't know that. I had no idea. That's new information. That's new for me. But yeah, man, I was wondering what teams y'all would want to say. That's kind of, I didn't think you would say Tennessee. That's shocking, but
I know it's random. Though. That's I always see that. It's like very random.
But it makes sense though, like because people gonna say Detroit. Nothing against Q and Nick because I would say the same thing. But we're going to Sacramento, Detroit, but we never think about a city that never even had a team.
Right.
Tennessee,
and that's kind of what I'm thinking about, like a city that.
And they got the fan base. They got the fans. They like hoops out there. They'll let that be known. So, but I just wanted to ask y'all that. But man, it was a great show. First,
hold on, we got one more thing to talk about.
Oh, my fault. What we got?
I'll toss this to y'all. I tweeted or I sent y'all a message in the group chat, but the post was basically asking, is Sabrina the top guard this year in the WNBA?
Oh yeah, you did. You did. I didn't put it in my notes.
This year I'll say yes. I would say yes, and I mean, especially considering that this is a big league. So I mean, I feel like the guards have been good, but I guess they really haven't been as impactful as the bigs. But I actually made my own like little top 5 list. Let me pull it up real quick. But I definitely have Sabrina. I have Sabrina 1. I had Jewel Lloyd 2. D'Erica 3, Ryan Howard 4, and then Kennedy 5. It's just my personal list this year.
Say it again. Jewel Lloyd 1. I mean, Sabrina 1.
Sabrina 1, Jewel Lloyd 2, D'Erica 3, Ryan Howard 4, and then Kennedy 5.
So do they consider Ka like a forward? Because to me, she's like a combo, right?
Like, I'm saying, like, I mean, she's more of like a combo, a wing. It's always tough.
Even like Basketball Reference, they got her as a guard forward.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's who I had. That's who I had.
That's I'm putting her too.
Yeah. So that's basically who I had. I said I'm not mad about it. You know, if someone says Sabrina, to me it's between. I can't talk. To me, it's between Sabrina and Ka. Like. When you look at the thing is with Sabrina, when you look at her numbers, it's not a ton of improvement from last year. But when you look at the eye test, she's definitely better. Like
she's definitely better, bro.
She perfected her floater. She's finishing through contact better. She's better on ball. She's still shooting the logo 3. Like she's a better playmaker this year, averaging 6 assists per game.
Yeah.
But when you really look at her numbers, her 3-point shooting is down. Her field goal percentage is about the same. So her numbers aren't really improved that much, but you could tell that she's put work in and you could tell that she's better. From Ka's standpoint, she literally out of 28 games, it's only been 4 games where she has not scored in double digits this year. She has 9 30-point games so far. So they're neck and neck, in my opinion. They both have been flat out hooping, though. I will say that.
Yes.
I'll say Sabrina MVP candidate.
Yeah, she is. You can definitely. I'll put her there. Sabrina definitely, like you said, her numbers is not gonna be like, oh my god. But watching her, if you watch, it's just like, yo, she's really improved her game a lot. She's worked on her game just from like last year to this year. You could just see like the game has slowed down. She just seems real sure about everything she's doing, whether it's shooting, passing, whatever it is. She seems very sure about everything. It's like she's not rushed. She always thinks she has the perfect shot. Like you could just tell that she was in the lab. You can definitely tell she was in the lab. So I'm glad to see that. I'm definitely glad to see that. And since you asked that question, I'm gonna piggyback real quick. Like I said earlier, I'm still learning this W media in the media space. The Aces versus Liberty. Correct me if I'm wrong. This shit feel like black versus white when I see people talking on the internet. Am I correct in this?
Yes.
I am. Okay. I'm like, yo, this is feeling real race divided right now.
I don't know if you saw the picture, but last year they had a Liberty fan, this white guy that looked very racist, holding up a sign that said like mall or something like literally basically like wanting them to attack the Aces. Like it was like some racial thing on the actual sign, and like they showed it on ESPN and stuff. And I'm like, do they not see what this man's sign says? So it definitely seems like a lot of racial tension.
It does.
Because the last couple of years, the Aces have pretty much been a fully black team.
Yes.
And the Liberty, it's mixed. So I don't know why it's like that, because the Liberty is white. But
and in Brooklyn, like out of all places.
I was gonna say Brooklyn is literally one of the most eclectic like cities in the world. I mean, America. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have everything when you go there. You see literally
seriously.
Literally,
you do. You do.
That's why people go there, because you could be yourself. Like people feel like you could be yourself in Brooklyn or just in New York in general. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think Nick said I think it's more so because like the stars are black and then the stars are white over there. Like you got Sabrina and you got even whiter. You got Stewie. So it was like I see it. So I just be seeing certain things. So I'll clock like what certain people will say. Like if a white person say something about the Aces, I would clock like, yo, that shit seem right. That seems racist. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like not saying black women aren't fans of the Liberty, but it's like every time I see, it's like black women are fans are talking about the Aces, like being fans of the Aces. So it's just like I be seeing it. Like, oh, I was wondering. I didn't know if I was off. But clearly I was not.
No,
but yeah,
it's extremely accurate. And I think it's also because of just media as well. Like the way that they cover the Aces is different than how they cover other teams. And the way that they speak about them and talk about them is different than how they speak and talk about other teams as well. So
it comes off a lot of jealousy. Like people were mad, like when that I don't know who it was when they gave them all the Aces players, the sponsorship. I saw a lot of hater shit about that, so it's just weird. Like,
investigate that shit.
Yeah,
they're still investigating it.
Yeah, so it's man. I remember just watching the Aces like coming up, being a fun team, singing in the damn tunnel. Like everybody liked the Aces. Like it was just like, yo, who is this team?
People only like you until you start doing good.
This is true.
Like,
this is very true. No, you're facts.
People only like you, so they were terrible. Like so, that's why when people be like, oh, they got 4 Olympians, they had 3 number 1 picks. Like, yes, they did, but they literally got it out the mud. They were terrible at first. Like, and that's why I compare them to how the Fever are now. Like, in a few years, the Fever can very well look similar to. I'm not saying that they'll win as many championships or even win one, but they have the foundational pieces if they can keep it together. And so it's kind of the same story with the Aces. So it'll be interesting to see both. But yes, people hate them now.
Yeah, they do.
I just wish that we appreciated greatness.
We always wait until it's too late.
That doesn't happen.
But they do.
Yeah, it don't happen like that. You know how that is, man. But Lo, you definitely right. Like people love to bring you up, and they love to tear your ass down. Like on anything.
Look at it with my girl Simone. When she wanted to roll out of Tokyo because of her mental health. Oh, she's a quitter. Oh, she's giving up on her country. She's giving up on her team. Y'all was just on her saying she was the greatest thing of all, the greatest, athlete of all time or the greatest gymnast of all time. But now because she decided to put her mental health first, like now she's a terrible person. So yeah, people, they want you to do good until you actually start doing good. And it's terrible.
Yes. Like God forbid that somebody gave all these players a sponsorship these women needed. What the fuck?
Period. Like just because your team broke, like why are you mad because your team broke?
That's basically what it is. Brokey. That's right. Basically what it is.
Well, technically it wasn't the owners technically, but the city of Las Vegas appreciates them because that's the first team that has brought a championship to Las Vegas, so they appreciate them and they wanted to give them a little bit of extra bread. I love a good incentive, especially when it's monetary.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Anyways. You got anything else y'all want to talk about before we get out of here? I know Lowe probably sleepy, tired.
I didn't even take my melatonin, so I'm gonna be up for at least the next 2 hours.
Definitely, because she's taking gummies. Are you still taking gummies?
I know. Hold on. I really do need to order. I keep forgetting. Y'all know my memory's not that good for real.
Oh, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. I'm gonna help you remember that shit. Nick, you got anything else we get up out of here, man?
Yeah. I'm tired of all y'all on Twitter. That's all I gotta say.
Look at him doing it with a smile.
It's sick of everybody, man.
Hey Nick, just start blocking people, man. Because
that's what I needed. Like Lowe keeps telling me to block people, but I'm too passionate, man. I just you gotta let people know how stupid they are.
Listen, man, real quick, people will let you know every day that they don't really watch games, man.
Oh, yeah, easily.
They will let you know out their own mouth that they don't, and still have a conversation with you.
Yep.
On something they never saw.
Bro, I
never went back and watched.
Shout out to Mike in 92.
Oh,
you know what? It's time to get up out of here. Thank you again. This is the best damn W show. That's Lowe. That's Nick. I'm Jay. Peace. Oh my God.